Pete, what was your message to the team going into that third period?
Trying to remember something along the lines of, I didn't feel we had played our best yet, and it's really tough to get to this point, and if you are going to lose a game at this point in the year, you want to make sure the other team has to earn it. And I didn't feel through 40 minutes that, we had made them earn the position they were in. So, the guys responded. We got fortunate. We got some power play goals. Happy for our power play. I mean, it took a lot of heat last year at this point of the year, and was a difference tonight for us. So, it's great.
Left side, second row, Ryan.
Pete, I mean, you look at the offensive contributions you received this evening. What was it like not only getting those, but getting those in a game where you were not only able to look at a comeback, but a comeback against a team that basically they've been making a habit of comebacks this postseason?
Yeah. Well, I think I talked, everyone was talking about, our lack of secondary scoring, and the last round, I spoke this morning in my availability that you have to give Winnipeg some credit. They defended their ass off in that series against us, and they're the best defensive team in the league. So none of our guys were going to have big numbers in the Winnipeg series. I really felt confident that they were going to get going, because even in that Winnipeg series, particularly late in that series, Game 6, I started to see some real signs of, creating some real chances. They just didn't finish, or Hellebuck made some saves. So there were signs that we were going to get some production.
Left side, third row. Pete, you talked about the power play a little bit just now, but you talked about it this morning and said, hey, don't go 0 for 14 on the power play, and then you put 3 straight in a 6-minute span. What did you see different from the power play in the third period as compared to your first power play tonight? And for that unit to finally really get it rolling, how important?
Yeah, the first power play we had was a little bit like the rest of our game. Our execution was a little off. We didn't make great plays with the puck. We didn't have great support. I thought in the third, we came out and we executed. And, I think you never know when that switch is going to go. Obviously, being at home here for this game, we get that first goal, the crowd gets into it, momentum shifts really quickly. And that's the benefit of being at home here for Game 1.
Right side, front row, Tracy.
Pete, just with specifically Matt Duchene, he's been like some of these other guys. He's just been all around it, and you could tell he was going to be frustrated. So how good to see him score that goal at that point and have that impact.
Yeah, we're all happy for him. I mean, you can say whatever you want, but that weighs on a guy like that, particularly a scorer. So great for him to get one, and it was due. Like you said, he's been around it quite a bit. Just hasn't gone in. So hopefully that's the floodgates will open now.
Left side, fourth row, Sean.
You talked about over that game getting your team to get to its game. Can you describe the challenge for coaches and players in doing that when you're switching styles from a Winnipeg team that looks very different to an Edmonton Oilers team?
Yeah, it's definitely a different game than the last series. But we played an absolutely totally different team in the first round in Colorado. So we've seen a little bit of everything here in the playoffs. I think there's always a feeling out period when you get into a new series with the team you're playing, because everyone brings different things to the table. So, and I know we're familiar with each other, but we haven't played each other in a while, and with the rosters that we have now. So, I think you saw a little bit of that tonight. We can be and have to be better than we were tonight, and at least 5-on-5, and that's got to be the goal for us.
Stay in that same row, Robert.
Pete, is it really as simple as you got some momentum from those power plays? Because even after that, it seemed like the third period at even strength was much closer to the game you guys want to play.
Yeah.
To.
Yeah, you know what? I thought, I didn't think the entire night was poor 5-on-5. I thought we started the game okay. We had some good looks in the first period. They got the first goal They got the power play goal too. All of a sudden you're in a hole. So, but I think as a group, when we sit and look at it, and we'll look at it tomorrow, I think our group knows that we can play better than we did for large portions of tonight.
Right side, fourth row.
Hey, Pete. I just wanted to ask you about Ottinger because I felt like the score could have been a lot worse than 3-1 after the second period. Did he help keep you guys in the game there?
Yeah, he made some saves for sure. He's done that. He's done that all year. He didn't. He kind of stopped the bleeding. When momentum went against us there. I mean, obviously, if it goes to 4 or 5-1, that game's probably over. So he definitely helped stop the bleeding and give us a chance going into the third period.
Left side, back row.
Coach, do you have any recollection of being part of a playoff team that scored 3 power play goals in a period in playoff game?
Oh yeah. I was. We did it in Vegas when I coached there. In the last 5 minutes of a game, we scored 4 actually. So it doesn't happen very often, but I have seen it before.
We'll go to Corey, right side, fourth row.
Hi, Pete. How important, was Miro Heiskanen's goal to kind of spark the comeback?
Yeah.
And, is he a guy that's just kind of getting better and better every game, like you said? And
Yeah.
how much more dangerous does that make you?
Yeah, I mean, he's a game changer for us. 24 minutes, 1-1-2 tonight. He changes our team. And we survived the first round and a half without him, but he's our difference maker. For us, he's him and Rantanen are McDavid and Draisaitl. So it's nice to have him back.
Left side, fourth row.
Hi, Pete. Staying on Miro, obviously a player like him missing for 4 or 5 months of the season, not a good thing. With how fresh he's looked and how good he's looked since he's been back, could it almost be kind of a blessing in disguise now that he's back, looking 100% at least?
Yeah, potentially, for sure. There's no doubt he's fresh. If he can get back feeling, like he isn't still dealing with some type of injury, I think that would be helpful. I don't think he's 100% there yet, mindset-wise, but there's no doubt he's fresh and hungry and ready to jump in. So, he's a difference maker.
Last one, right side, second row.
Hey, Coach, great game. I know you can't tell by looking at me, but my physique is one of a track and field physique. To see Tyler Seguin break out like he did and show the speed at his age as a seasoned veteran, how did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was great. And you know what? I'm happy for Tyler. I mean, hip surgery, missed the whole year. That's a ton of work in the gym, off the ice with our trainers, to get to a point where he could actually, pull away from somebody in that situation this time of the year. So great to see, and a lot of work behind the scenes put into that burst that he had.
Thanks a lot, Pete. That concludes Stars post-game media for tonight. Thank you.